Did you know that there are tiny things inside of us called genes, and they tell our bodies how to work, like our eye color or hair color? Meet Chris. He is a genetic engineer. A genetic engineer changes or edits genes. When a gene is changed or edited, it is called a mutation. Some mutations are bad, but some are good or do not have any effect. Genes are inside anything that is alive. People, jellyfish, and plants all have genes. Some genetic engineers are hired to create or change different types of food. Take a look at these tomatoes. Genetic engineers can edit the genes of a tomato to make it more spicy. They do this by adding new genes into the tomato. The engineers take genes from a chili pepper and add it to the genes of a tomato. Today, Chris is trying to solve a problem. Cocoa trees are dying due to a virus. Cocoa trees are important because their seeds are used to make chocolate. Chris and other genetic engineers are on a mission to save chocolate. Chris wants to edit the genes in the plants to keep them from dying. Chris knows that he cannot prevent the virus from spreading. The virus spreads because of tiny bugs that feed on the sap of the trees. Chris has to start by looking very closely at the genes inside of the tree to see where he can edit. When Chris looks very closely, he can find that part of the gene that is affected by the virus. Once Chris has found that part of the gene, he wants to get rid of it, so he deletes it so that the virus cannot affect that tree. This is a good type of gene mutation. Next, Chris used the edited genes to grow a new tree. He has to grow the tree to test the virus and see if it will kill it. This test will show Chris if the trees will survive the viruses. After growing his edited trees, Chris finds that the trees survive the spread of the virus. Now farmers can use this new version of the tree and keep creating and selling chocolate. Imagine if you were a genetic engineer and you could find a tree to edit. What would you edit? Would your mutation be beneficial for the trees? Now it's your turn to go on an adventure and be a genetic engineer.